Hello, Mystical Love and Light here. This is a overdue video, and this is one of my last shelves showing my 2 altars that's left. I'm gonna have to hold the phone because I'll be moving around, and I have, it's half and half Cherokee and Aztec. That's the Cherokee oil that I make, and I use it on some of my workings, and I also use some of my Aztec Ancestor oil also. I kind of have it all together, not so much necessarily half and half, because even though this is an altar for my native ancestors, I have stuff up here that doesn't necessarily mean it was from the time of the Aztec or the Cherokee, but if it was something that I liked, if it was something my husband bought me, and I brought it home and I felt like I needed to put it on the altar, then I did. But they do have their own oils, their own, where I put their tobacco, and it is tobacco that was actually picked from where it's not rolled or anything like that. My husband got me a whole jar of it and brought it home for me and said, I don't know if you can use this, and I was like, perfect. That's exactly what I'd been wanting for my native ancestors altars. And I have a bunch of feathers, and this is, I believe, like a buffalo hunter, I believe what I was told. And the shells, and then we got this hanging off. We've got our cup with the water, mostly like on the Aztec side, because they believed in, or the skulls were representing the rebirth. And the maracas, sometimes I use those in my workings when I call upon my spirits. And the pan flute actually belongs to my husband, and he told me to put it up here on the altar, and I did. Journey's End. Dream catcher. Some more feathers, and we've got another native back here. I love that. I put that on my table sometimes when I'm doing my workings. And this is what goes around. This belongs to my husband, which he also has Cherokee in him. And more shells, and then we've got this on the other side hanging right there. So I will kind of back up and let you see. Now, when I did the oils, I put in the oils, you can't see, well, maybe you can see right there when I move this. I put all kinds of herbs and corn and different things that they would use from the land, and I did the same thing on the Aztec ancestor oil. I put in what they would also eat or use on the land. And this skull is it's made out of ceramic. And yeah, that is my ancestor, my native ancestor altar. And if I put out food, I don't particularly put it on that altar. I will put it on my working table, and I will put it out for all of my spirits that help me. Spirits meaning my ancestors, my guides, my guardians, my angels, all of them that help me. And then I have a secondary altar, and I will just kind of swing this around without getting you dizzy. And this is my money altar. And of course, you know I'm going to have a dragon on the money altar that my husband got me. And the alligator claw. And this is my jar that I put all of the offerings into it. And the lodestones with the lodestones magnetic sand in it. And I got the crystals that we dug up ourselves, pyrite, and the good luck, those things, whatever you call them. I forgot what you call them, but I also have them in the coin forms, which good luck clover, that's what they are, clovers. And I've got a lot of them here. And a lot of my offerings that I give besides the food is penny blanks, copper penny blanks. All of these copper penny blanks. So as I do a prayer and have an offer, you know, done, then I will maybe 1, 2, 3, whatever I grab, and I put it in there. Now this hanging off has a story to it, and the Roadrunner and Coyote. Now let me tell you about that before I go any further on here. My late husband that passed away 8 years ago, over 8 years ago, he had this hanging in one of our vehicles, and it got lost. It got lost even before he passed away. He had it hanging in there for years and years and years, and then one day it just disappeared, never to be found again. Now after he passed away, time went by. My husband, he's cleaned out the vehicle quite a few times, because we were even going to sell it at one time, and he cleaned it out from top to bottom. Okay. So, after the years went by of me and him being married, he's driven that vehicle, countless of times, all the time, you know, and he puts his keys inside the cup holder, he puts his drinks inside the cup holder, whatever his glasses, he'll sit them inside the cup holder. And like I say, he's cleaned out that vehicle many, many times, vacuumed it from top to bottom. I mean, cleaned it, scrubbed it, everything. Well, this had been gone way years before my late husband had passed away. Okay, so one of the last, how long ago was it, honey? About 6 months ago? We'll say about 6 months ago. Yeah, do you want to come tell the other part? Because this is pretty cool. You don't have to be on camera. I'm just talking. I'm not even on camera. Okay, because I'm just showing the altar. So now keep in mind, he had been getting in that vehicle all the time. Like I say, he puts his keys in the cup holder, you know, all the time. Years and years has gone by. And then one day he got in the vehicle and to put something in the cup holder. He bring, huh? Cup of coffee. Were you here? It was here, right, when you found it?
No, I was on my way home that night. Maybe I got me a cup of coffee.
Okay, so he was on the way home that night from working, and he stopped to get him a cup of coffee. He puts his coffee inside the cup holder, and he's like, "What's inside the cup holder?" And he pulls that out of the cup holder. Now,
I didn't know what it was.
he didn't know what it was, because I mean, he'd never seen it. It had disappeared way before.
I didn't even know nothing about it.
Yeah, he said he didn't know anything about it. So it disappeared way before my husband had passed away. That belonged to my husband. He always had it hanging in the vehicle. So he gets home, he hands it to me, and he says, "Honey, this was in the cup holder. Did you put it in there?" And I was like, "Oh my God, where did you find that?" He goes, "It was in the cup holder." And I'm like, "What do you mean it was in the cup holder?" It's been gone for years. And we've driven that vehicle for years. So he said, "I was fixing to put my coffee in the cup holder, and there it was." I was like, "Oh my God." I said, that was Jack putting it in there for you to find. And so since he found it, he didn't even know what it was or anything, I felt like that was something really good. And so I hung it here on the money altar, hanging off of where we put all of our stuff inside. And there's a sigil, money sigil, and there's, well, all kinds of things down in the bottom. But yeah, that is like, wow. Because after me and him got married, my late husband, when he passed, he never came to me to speak to me or anything like that. He's come to Lee and spoke to Lee before, while Lee was in his big truck, and Lee said it wasn't a dream. He said that was not a dream, that he came to me, and without telling you everything that he said, it was like, so he came to Lee in a dream after me and Lee had gotten married, just to make a long story short, to say everything would work out, it would be okay, we would make it. And then years later, then he puts the coyote in the cup holder for Lee to find, and it wasn't in there before that. But when he stopped to get his cup of coffee, came back out to put his coffee in there, it was there. So that is on the money altar. Okay, and then we have, of course, the water, and then we have this. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about this. Me and my husband was out doing our like estate sales, garage sales, flea markets, stuff like that. Lee saw this from a distance and was like, "Oh my God, I've got to get that for you." Let me back up so you can kind of see it. I didn't know what it represented. It's got a tag on the bottom of it. It's a collector's bronze. I'm going slow. And it was like it was just calling to him. And he's like, "I've got to get that for you." And I was like, "Oh my God, I love it." I'm trying to show you the back side of it. It'll come around this way. So ever since he bought it for me, we've had it on the money altar. And this, like I say, there's a tag on the bottom of it, and we done some research, and is a collector's fantasy Faust statue. Statue on it's like a German name or something. It's considered a docile creature. It's a limited edition. And it's a confused relationship between a master and his creature. The young woman, apparently docile, skillfully capitalizes on her charm to escape the sharp claws of a devil. Faust, meaning a magician, an alchemist in Germany, legend who sells his soul to the devil in exchange for power and knowledge. Faust is trying to believe in God while he seeks a way to believe in himself. Faust teaches that the essential feature of all existence, the law that governs the universe, is one in untiring, purposeful, and positive effort. He is borderline good and evil, constantly battling his conscience. So that's Faust. And let me back up. And it was just, as soon as he saw it from a distance, he was like, oh my God, Racheale, look at that. And I was like, oh, I don't know what it is, but I like it. And he's like, well, I'm going to get it for you. I'm like, well, find out how much it is first. He's like, I don't care. I'm going to get it. But isn't that cool? So anyway, this is my 2 altars that I had promised to do them. So I've got to go back and look at what number shelf the other ones were, so I'll know what these were. And let me back up, and you can see them there. What are you doing, Mama? And underneath me is my little baby. What are you doing, Mama? So yeah, that's them. And thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a blessed night and blessed to be.